Hello, 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 sellers. Come on in. Come on in. I'm Kathy, and I love to be selling. What I'm going to be giving you today is a fast, easy tip to make you more money selling on eBay. Who doesn't want that, right? It's like, Kathy, fast and easy. I'm in. Sometimes when you're listening to things, it's a great tip, but it's going to take hours or weeks to do, or I have to take this long course, or I have to hire people. And what I've got for you is fast, easy tip that works. I have tested it. It works to get sales. It's also a tip that can be done with or without an eBay store, but there are some bells and whistles to it that you can add with a store. It also works whether you really in any category, any vertical. Hi, Sharon, how are you? So I'm going to be getting right to it, and I have prompts to help me. And these are my prompts. These are from my grandkids. So hang on. Good to see you. These are my props to get you going. So it's like, why is Kathy holding these little plushies? So this is the thing that'll get you fast, easy sales selling on eBay is that when you're listing, good, I'm so glad, is when you are looking at your unlisted inventory. Okay. Hi, PJ. Oh, aren't they cute? These are so cute. I love these. And it makes me think of them too, my grandkids. So you've got your unlisted inventory. For some people, that's boxes. For some people, it's rooms. For some people, it's a garage full. But look at it. Okay. So don't get overwhelmed. Look at your unlisted inventory. Then batch it. And batch it by things that go together. And that's why I grabbed my little plushies, right? So grab a bunch of kids' toys. Grab a bunch of puzzles or mugs or kitchen appliances, women's clothing, men's clothing, shoes, jewelry, whatever it is, but grab a bunch of things that are related. And even if you're a soup to nuts seller, look at things like what's related together: costume jewelry, fishing lures, golf accessories, and it could be golf accessories and golf clothes. The reason you're doing this is if somebody was to come and buy one cute plushie, why not offer them several cute plushies? Men's shirts, men's shoes, women's hats, vintage accessories, gloves, hats, jewelry, opera glasses, okay, mobility helpers. I've sold things like, the long shoe horns that help you to get your shoes on, right? That with canes, with the things that help you to get your socks on. I mean, you find a lot of different things when you're outsourcing, right? The reason you're grouping, so you've grouped, okay, so you have your group of plushies, puzzles, toys, cookie jars, kitchen appliances, flatware, whatever it is. You're going to do your research, right? So you got your research, you're doing your research, is that, and do what's doable for you. Because I have my part-time eBayers, I have my full-time eBayers, and we all have different time configurations in our life. So for you, it might work to research 5 things at a time or 10 things at a time, but do something that's manageable for you. You're going to research them. But what's great is it's all the same category. So it's the flatware, it's the hats, it's the shirts, it's whatever. And even better, if you know brand or style, it's all mid-century modern, right? Or it's all Amish, okay? So it's all IKEA. So you're doing your research. Then the next thing is, and you might do photographs first. So, do this in the order that works for you. But I do research first. Then you're going to photograph. Now, this can vary because sometimes when you're grouping things, men's clothing, women's clothing, accessories, toys, because the plushies come in all sizes, is you might want to then group things that are similar size, right? So men's shoes, women's shoes, costume jewelry, because it's going to make it faster to photograph. So you're grouping to research. Then you're going to group light size, light setup for photos because we're saving you time, right? And then you're going to listing, and this is what's going to make you the money. Okay, so research, photograph, list. This is why listing when you have things related, it doesn't need to be the same. So it doesn't need to be Disney. These are Paw Patrol, by the way. It doesn't need to be Paw Patrol. Same thing too with women's clothing. It doesn't need to be, Donna Karan, or an Anthropology brand. But if someone was to buy it, and you'll find this doing, looking at things, is if they were going to buy one, that they might buy another. Or this is why listings similar. They're going to come in on little cute plushy one, which they may not buy. They'll look at it and go, that's not really for me. But the one they'll buy, they will buy cute plushy too. Same thing with the shirt. They'll come in on the maroon shirt, but they'll buy the blue shirt, or they'll buy both, right? And this is where your eBay store helps. Why? Because you're offering a great deal. Buy $50, save 10%, 20%, or whatever. So go through your unlisted inventory, batch it by similar. This is where think like a buyer. Do I have a hat around? I had a hat around. So we'll use this as a hat. This is my hat. Think like a buyer. I know for me, like I shop for my husband's shirts on eBay all the time, and he's a large. So I'm shopping Nike, Under Armour, different brands that he likes. And if I'm looking at a seller's listings and I see a large in a style that he likes, I will definitely go and look at their other. Do they have more than one? Right? Is there any kind of deal going on? It's just like being in a retail department store. I'm at Macy's, or I'm at Nordstrom's, or I'm at Target, or I'm at Walmart, and I'm looking at the one thing. Of course, I'm going to see what else they have in his size. Again, is there a deal? Is there a coupon? Or because I'm there and it's going to save me time, and we're all looking to save time, sellers look to save time, and buyers look to save time. If you've got another one, it looks good, right? I'm like, okay, great, we'll buy both. So that's what I'm saying is take your unlisted inventory, group it by things that make sense. Okay. Again, you'll do 5 at a time, 10 at a time, whatever works for you. Research, because this is going to save you time too. I'm researching 5 or 6 cut glass goblets, or wine glasses, or table settings, or flatware, or harvest decor, or Hallmark Christmas ornaments, or Christmas lights, vintage Christmas lights, candle holders, whatever it is. But I'm researching several. Then I'm listing them, and people with eBay store categories consider creating store categories for them. Okay, that's just food for thought. And then the reason you're doing it is why? Because they're going to come and look at your listings, and they're landing on the one cute plushie, or flatware, or table linens, or dress, or shirt, or pants, or socks, or shoes, and they will look at related items. If I'm buying shoes, do you have socks? If I'm buying the high heels, maybe also you have ballerina flats in my size. And I wanted to bring that up for the shoe people, also for clothing people, is list large, extra large, small, petite. You want to be listing the same size if you have more of the same size. Again, why? I'm coming in on the large. I'm going to look at your other larges. I come in at the large. Maybe I'll also look at your extra large. So do list if you have clothing, shoes, anything that's sized. Things like tennis rackets have grip sizes. Okay. Golf clubs. Again, it has a size. If you have more than one, and again, a lot of people have a lot of unlisted inventory, so I'm not saying go crazy, but again, if I have several bags of clothing and I can sort through them quickly, and this is a good way too to sort your clothing, and then batch it by size, it can be a huge help, because that way, what increases the sales, they're coming in on the one thing, and they're going to look at the other ones that are related, your other larges, your other pink things, your other blue things, your other puzzles, your other cut glass, your other cute harvest decor, your other Christmas ornaments. Hint, hint, if you don't have your Christmas stuff up, get going. And Christmas does so year round. But they'll look at one Christmas stocking. They'll look at your other Christmas stockings. They'll look at your Christmas plates. They'll look at your tree topper. Okay. So again, the one thing is bringing in people to look at the other things. So even my soup to nuts sellers, as you are pulling your unlisted inventory, group it, pull a bunch of men's shirts, a bunch of women's dresses, shoes, etc. Okay. And that'll increase your sales because, again, what you're doing, and you can do this with or without a store, it's just with a store, you can do coupons and promotions and fun things like that. But even without a store, if I've got 10 cute plushies, don't list one and then wait 2 weeks and list the other. Grab all 10 of your cute little plushies, or 5 if that's what's manageable, because you only have an hour when you get home from work and you got to get to bed at a decent hour. But at least grab 2 or 3, list them. Okay. And another thing, my people, if you are listing, like, let's say I have 10 cute plushies or I have tons of great puzzles, do your listing. This is my bonus tip for you. Then at the bottom of the listing, say, look at my other, I have several puzzles listed, or I have a lot of plush listed. Figure out how you want to say it. Check my other listings. Let them know you have more. Encourage them to look at your other listings. Okay. And that's a huge, huge help. But oftentimes when we're listing, we've been out shopping. We just sort of, we take our inventory, we empty it out, or we go to the room with the unlisted inventory and we just sort of pull things. And it's sort of a hodgepodge. It's got maybe a candy dish, and then I've got a pair of shoes, and then I have a pair of great vintage hosiery, rather than looking at, but what makes sense to be listing at the same time. Like, I've got 5 really great vintage hats. I remember doing this when my sister had these fabulous vintage hats, and I consigned them for her. So I listed them in batches, because vintage hat buyers typically buy more than one vintage hat, and there were a lot of different styles. It was her. She just loved vintage hats, and I had so much fun selling them for her. So again, list them in batches, because typically somebody who buys one will want to buy another one, or they come in on the one and then they end up buying the other one. Do you know what I mean? So the one gets you traffic for the other. So always be listing, like, again, think like a buyer, putting my buyer hat back on, think like a buyer of, if I was shopping for this, what other things might I be looking for? Okay. Like for kids pajamas and kids toys. Okay. Is a smart one. So always be thinking that way, because that way you're listing, it has like extra juice to it, right? Because the one listing is getting you traffic to your other related items. And that's what you want, because that increases your sale. They may not buy that first thing they land on, and oftentimes they don't, but it's getting you traffic to the other items. And that's why putting that little line in your listing can be super, super helpful, saying, be sure to check out all my plush, check out all my puzzles, check out my kids' pajamas, check out my women's sweaters, whatever it is that's related, check out all my great Christmas home decor. And it gets you more traffic to your items. It's what retail does. If you go into any retail store worth a darn, when you walk in and they'll say, and they'll feature, again, what do they do? I'm thinking this one store, all the preserves are together. So I might come in for this. This is very high end, like boutique jams. So I might come in for the strawberry, but there is the peach and the apple. And then they have these bins with sample sets together. So then it's paired together with these really pretty wrappings, because you're buying for gifts. So again, what does the one jam do? The strawberry, it's bringing in traffic for the others, because they're coming in for the one, but all these other beautiful jams are arranged around it. And then I go, oh, look at this pear, and oh, look at this, and oh, look at these sets, right? And then they have the things that go with it, right? So jam jars, right? Plates for your jam. Again, what goes with it, and showing it off. And that's what drives you sales. So think like a buyer, but also think like retail. When you go into stores, look at what they're doing, and you can translate that. Of course, we're different, we're online, but oh boy, can we learn a lot from retail. I love learning from retail. I thank goodness that I did brick and mortar retail for 25 years, because I take all of that knowledge that I got and use it when I'm selling on eBay and share tips with you. Now, I have great tips on what is selling right now. So yes, different things sell year round, and yes, people buy summer clothes in the middle of winter because they're going on cruises. Don't forget that. But there is a seasonality to many things, and things will go for more money different seasons. And oftentimes we think of things that are selling because it's things that we're buying and our friends are buying, and we forget what everybody else is buying. So I've got this guide for you. It's free. It's on my website, ilovetobeselling.com. and it's fall and winter essential product guides. And hop over to my website and grab it. It's literally page after page after page of things that are selling now. Because again, what's unlisted, back to my little plushies, what's unlisted, listing similar things, but also to get those creative juices going of what sells fall, winter, what's selling fall, winter. Because when you're outsourcing, or if you're sourcing going through your closets, which I've done recently, sometimes you overlook things. And it's like, oh, that, I haven't used that in years. It's perfectly great and new. Somebody will get use out of it. Let's list that on eBay. So grab my fall winter essential products guide, and it will get your creative juices going. So that way you get the sales. That way you get the sales. That way you get the sales. Oh, Paula, you're live on the school bus. Good for you, my friend Paula, who's a wonderful school bus monitor. Oh, good to see everybody. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. What do you use to repair a broken jack-o'-lantern, a pumpkin patch? Sharon, you are too funny. It is good to see everybody. So grab my fall winter essential products guide and be listing things that are related, because they get you, one, you get the sale, and it gets you traffic to your other related items. Okay. Bye-bye, everybody. I'm Kathy, and I love to be selling.